What is up, everybody? Welcome back to VogelStang. Thanks for checking out this video. So today we're going to talk about the other 3 runs I had at Island Dragway. So if you watched my previous video, you already know that I ran an all-time best of 11.9, and the rest of my runs were actually all in the 12s. So I'm just going to talk about the struggles that I had with heating up the tires, getting the burnout right, and some other little aspects of the track. So my second pass here, I was feeling a little extra confident after running 11.9, and I figured why not try a baby launch. So I first attempted to do the burnout, and again, if you watch the previous video, you'll see I noted that on all 4 passes I screwed up the burnout. Not sure how how that can happen, but I managed to do it. And but you can see in this one, when I start to do the burnout, it starts out really well. I'm up, the RPMs are nice and high, but I modulate it just a little bit, and I let it down just a bit, and as soon as I did that, it kind of like started to grip, and it just pulled the RPMs down, and basically I lost the spinning of the tires, and it just stopped. So the burnout was kind of still a failure. I feel I don't think it was very productive. So you just watch the RPMs when I'm doing that, and then watch the RPMs on this pass. You'll see what went wrong and why I got not a good time. So here, check it out. All right, so as you can see, I just totally blew the tires off in first gear. I don't know how that even happened. I'm just assuming that the tires were cold and they weren't heated up enough, and launching at the 1500 RPMs, the tires couldn't handle it because they weren't warmed up properly. At that point, I had a bunch of, a million thoughts going through your head. What should I just let off and just cruise down the rest of the track? But there was a challenger next to me, and I couldn't let him get there first, or her, I don't know. So my only intention after that point was to get to the finish line first, and I did. So that's that's all I was trying to accomplish after that atrocious start. But anyway, everything's a learning process, and that's what happened. So there's actually a little bit more to talk about in this pass. I'm going to replay the part where I pull into the lanes, and I don't know if this is something that is customary at tracks. Like, this is something that they do. So they split. You have different lanes for street tires versus drag radials, and when they run these street tire lanes, they put these cones in the track, basically right in the groove. So it keeps you with a street tire, it keeps you outside of the groove. Now, as with a drag radial, you can run in either the street tire lanes or the drag radial lanes. So my first 2 passes were in the street tire lanes, and they had this cone set up, so you're out of the groove of where all the good traction is, where all the good rubbers lay down. I think that could have been the reason why when I launched, it totally broke loose, you know, because I'm outside of the groove. So I'm not sure if that's something that all tracks do or not. If you happen to know if all tracks do that, or if this is just something that's, you know, this particular track does, or maybe some other tracks do it as well. Maybe some do, maybe some don't. I don't know. So I'm really curious if anybody knows, number one, do other tracks do this? And number two, why do they force you outside of the groove? So on my first two passes, I was in the street tire lanes and I'm basically set up outside the groove. So on my third and fourth pass, there's also a little reason why I'm in the street tire lanes. So at this particular drag strip, there's a pretty significant difference between the cars that are in the street tire lanes versus the cars in the drag radial lanes. It's really drag radials and slicks. I feel like my competition the cars that I would like to run against, because I mean, even though it's only, you know, a test and tune and I'm not really racing the car in the other lane, it's still fun to have a good race. And even though I'm really going against myself and trying to beat my time, it's still fun to be racing against a car that's similar to yours. As soon as I go into the lanes with drag radials and the slicks, you're dealing with a totally different caliber of cars. And usually you know, those cars are running, you know, 10s, 9s, so really fast times, and I'm basically getting my doors blown off. And, you know, it's not really fun. And, you know, it doesn't make it interesting. So that's kind of why I steered away from the staging lanes with the drag radials. But however, after realizing that the cones are set up there to keep you out of the groove, I said, no, I have to go over into the other lanes with the drag radial, so that way I can set up in the proper spot. So that's what I did on pass 3 and 4. So let's take a look at the third pass. So with this pass again, there was something weird going on. I attempted to do the line lock first, and what I found out I'm messing up is I'm forgetting to press the OK button to make the line lock engaged. You have to hold down the OK button to initialize, then you have to brake. You know, you have to press really firmly down on the brake. And then like a little bar goes up, and once it gets to the top, it says, okay, now you're ready to do your burnout, but you have to hit OK again just to confirm that you want to do that. And that's where I always forget to hit OK, and then I wind up trying to do the burnout before hitting OK. It doesn't like that, and it gets all messed up. And then I try to foot brake a burnout, and it seems like it just doesn't want to cooperate at all. Like, it doesn't want to spin the tires at all. So I almost feel like there's some sort of like computer related issue when you go through that sequence of just messing up the line lock burnout, and then you try to do a foot brake burnout, and it just doesn't let you. So if you see, like, I tried to totally spin the tires here, and it didn't even get above 3,000, 4,000 RPMs or something like that. All right, and the fourth run, again, messed up burnout. Here you can actually see better in the video how I forget to click the OK button on the line lock, and it just messes up completely. And this time I am in drag strip mode, and you can see the transmission is still not shifting right. So I'm not sure what's going on here. For some reason, it's short shifting, And obviously that's not going to get you your best times. That was the rest of my passes. I wasn't even sure if I really wanted to make this video because it wasn't going to be anything, that interesting to watch. However, I decided to do it anyway, just to share my experience, and some of the struggles that I'm having. My journey, our journey together, is trying to get better times, and we're just going to share the good and the bad. So that's what this video is about, is just showing you, there's nothing, there's not going to be anything great in this one, but this is more of a here are my struggles video. So, and that's been quite a few videos lately, so I think better things are coming, though. I'd like to also say thank you to 150 subscribers now. I was very excited to see that. I just hit 150 not too long ago, and that's pretty cool to see that, 150 people found my videos interesting enough to click the subscribe button. So awesome. Thank you very much to all those that have subscribed, and thank you to everyone who's watching. And even if you don't subscribe, if you just click and watch, that's cool too. Appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I have more footage coming. Switch over to E85 has been done, so I will throw up a video very soon. That's all I got. So until next video, have a great weekend. Take care and be well.